Hello, Professor and fellow classmates. My name is Michael Cassidy, and today I'm going to show you how to make a wonderful dip. Something that you can use for people that are coming over to your house for a get-together, or for a guy's game day, or girls. This dip here. Your people are going to love it, and they're going to ask you to make more and more of it. So here's what I got for you guys. Down here I got the ingredients. And this is called a beer and cheese dip. We've got Bud Light. You can use Bud Light or you can use a non-alcoholic beer if you like. We've got shredded cheese. We're going to use 2 cups. We've got Hidden Valley Ranch, the original, and 2 things of Philadelphia cream cheese, some bacon bits, which are real bacon. We've got a mixer, and of course we got a bag of chips. You can use pretzels if you don't like chips and things like that. And pretzels, you can use carrots and celery, those type of things. Your guests will still love it. This dip does make quite a bit of dip for everyone, and so it's usually you'll have maybe some leftovers if it's just a few people. So we're going to get right into it. And first off, what we're going to do is we're going to get into our Philadelphia cream cheese. And if you use this Philadelphia cream cheese at a little bit more of a room temperature, it's not so cold. If you let it set for maybe 20 minutes before you actually use it, it'll be a little bit softer to use. But we're just going to stick this cream cheese in the bowl here. And put this over here. And you're going to use 2 of these. Philadelphia cream cheese is like awesome when it comes to the cream cheese stuff. You can get the off-brand, it's just as good, but really the Philadelphia cream cheese has been around a long time. It's got a really good flavor to it. Alright, so then what I'm going to do is just kind of mix this around a little bit, just kind of beat it down a little bit. As you can see, it's kind of cold. I just got it out of the refrigerator. Could have let it set up a little longer, but that's alright. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to add your Hidden Valley Ranch. You want to make sure that you have the bag that's 1 ounce. You want to use 1 ounce to that. And I'll have all the information on the steps on a PowerPoint with all the ingredients and things like that if you all want to look at that a little bit later. So you just dump that in there. And then the next thing here, we got our shredded cheese. You want to definitely make sure that you've got 2 cups. That's all you really need is 2 cups. And you can use any type of, I like the sharp cheddar. That seems to work the best. You can use mild if you like. The sharps taste really good with the beer. And you're going to pour this in about you just want to leave it just enough for garnishing at the end. So I like to garnish it at the end just with a little bit of cheese. So I just leave a little bit of cheese there. And then I'm going to just kind of stir that up a little bit. And then once you put the beer in there, you don't want to put the whole thing in there right away. You just want to add a little bit to it. Just so enough to start to get it to mix. Probably about a quarter or so. And you just kind of mix it up a little bit with your spoon. It's going to be a little bit, stiff because, like I said, it's still a little cold. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a blender, so it's going to make a little noise here, but that's all right. Just mix this up. Still see it's a little thick. We're going to add a little more beer to it. You can always add, but you can never take away. So eventually you might end up using the whole thing. I usually have maybe a quarter of a beer left. Is usually how I end up with it. so that's pretty good and stirred up. I'm sorry I couldn't talk during that process. You couldn't have heard me anyway. But what we've got here is the real bacon bits. You don't have to use the whole package. I would put in maybe half a pack or so. That's usually tends to give it a pretty good flavor. It's really gives it that nice bacon, smoked bacon flavor. It's definitely worth it to use it. And then after that's in, we're gonna pump this in, and then we're gonna add just a little bit more beer. Alright, so that's your dip right there. Basically what you're going to do is that with that little bit of cheese, add it to the top of it to garnish it off a little bit. And that's your beer and cheese dip. You're going to find that you can see it's a big thick bowl, so it's going to last you quite a bit of time. It's great for a lot of guests. Like I said, kids, I mean, with the alcohol, there's not a lot of alcohol in one beer, and you're not using the whole entire beer. If you decide that you don't want any alcohol in it, just go with a Old Doul's, a beer that doesn't have any alcohol in it. That'll still give you that beer flavor. Another thing you can do too, if you want to use Bud Light, you can put the Bud Light in a pan, and you can heat up the beer in a pan, and that will cook off all the alcohol, and then you can still put the beer in there and it won't have any alcohol. So it just depends upon your preference. Other than that, it's game time at my house, so we'll see y'all later. Hope you enjoyed. See you on the next speech.